Welcome back to my studio. Today I would like to share with you how I create this painting by using a specific palette known as the Zorn Palette, which it refers to a palette attribute to the great Swedish artist Anders Zorn. I will show you how I started with making a drawing, and then I will demonstrate the variety of colors you can mix, which it consists in just 4 colors: yellow, red, black and white. Few notions of theory from the color wheel, and how to use this palette as a model for exploring and experimenting how to create skin tone with relative ease. These are the materials I'm using: homemade charcoal with red and white charcoal for tones and value, oil painting colors with brushes, and a palette knife to be able to mix in the colors. The surface is a watercolor paper primed with black and white gesso. And here I am to start my drawing. I'm drawing with a loose contour line sketch, and those marks for me becomes a guide. They lead me as I go on with the drawing. And I'm using homemade charcoal. I made a video about how to make your own charcoal, if you check on my YouTube channel. The process of layering lines, shapes and scribbles on top to each stroke, it gives me the opportunity to transcend reality as I see it. As I want to find new way to see into the surface. My mind become synergetic with the movement. At this point I'm dipping the brush on linseed oil and I'm going to continue this kind of gesture drawing, not just with the charcoal, but by introducing different tools. This case is the brush, and slowly start to get the feeling, the mood of using the brush. While I'm alternating the use of the brush over the charcoal, I continue to create and build on the surface and start to see the drawing come to life. And in those moments, it brings me a sense of peace. With white and red charcoal, now I want to simulate the volume of the body. And then with the brush I mold everything with clean, clear linseed oil. And this will give me the chance to redefine and start to visualize in a more specific way the surface of the body. Okay, my drawing is ready, and this is my colors: titanium white, yellow ochre, ivory black, and cadmium red light. The most colorful pigment in this palette is cadmium red light and yellow ochre. And as you see, I position those two colors between black and white. Because the number of pigment is restricted, it becomes fundamental to know how to balance between light and dark. And black and white are the best example to see how different tones can easily create the illusion of volume on a flat surface. While mixing black and white create tones of gray, the red and yellow add warmth. So you could consider experimenting with warm and cool colors with a range of neutral tones value. And here you see how mixing the two colors together with a little touch of white, the orange become more flesh tone. In the Zorn palette, black hands up play the role of a blue. In fact, mixing black with yellow ochre, now I'm going to create a green. At this point I mix a neutral green, a red orange, a dark gray violet, and 3 different tints of flesh tone. This will be just enough to start to have an idea and start to introducing colors in my painting. I begin to apply the color very spontaneously and directly. To create a sense of contrast with the charcoal drawing, which the surface is still wet with oil. They allow me to start sensing the form of the body by using the brush in a way that will unify the space as one. As you see now in my palette, the green and the red tone is the main ingredients for a flesh tone. It will be much more useful in the beginning to start to creating the sense of a foundation, to see the little shift between warm and cold and light and dark. As you can see right now, I'm focusing mostly to this mid-range tonality between the green as more terra verde green and the red orange with almost look like a terracotta red, if it makes sense. At this point, I organize my palette in 3 columns. You can see 3 tones of violets from darker to lighter, orange, yellow tone, and 3 tones of green from dark to light. I will start to approach colors by asking 3 basic questions. Does it need to be lighter or darker? To be warmer or cooler? To have more chroma or less chroma? Which means more bright colors or less bright? Their answers will become visually perceived in how light behaves on the forms. They start to become more refined by the sensitive eye. Now that I have my second drawing ready, I'm going to start to remix all my colors. So I have red, yellow between black and white. And I'm going to mix the colors as I did previously. Starting with creating a basic red-orange and right beside a green color. I found these two colors really fundamental, really important for skin tones. As you see from the color wheel, I'm pointing that each color is going to have an equivalent complementary colors. In a human skin color spectrum, the green and red pigments have both neutral and warm undertone. It could become very confused to paint right from the start all the different tones in painting a portrait. And by observing my image, the green and red create different tint, different tone. They want to resemble the lights and the dark of the flesh tone. If I want to have a color warmer, stay more close to using the red, the yellow pigment. If I want to be a little bit more cooler with the tone, I'm using a little bit more the white and the black. White and black together also they gives the optical illusion to look like a blue. As I'm progress with mixing the colors, you will see that each color it does have a sense of being warm or cold. In the Zorn palette, that's what I found really fun, to experimenting from your personal perception, what does it feel warm and what does it feel cooler. And now I'm ready to start to apply the first color in my second drawing. I suggest to start by using the green tones and slowly molding the pigments on the surface, observing how the form will appear in a relationship with the image. And here is my finished painting. This is my palette, the colors that I use for this portrait. And I hope you enjoyed to watch my video, and I will look forward to see you next time. Ciao!